Well, welcome to another episode of the franchise, you see. We're going to record an episode about Pet Sematary tonight, as long as you don't go down that road.
Don't go down that road. It's a bad road to go down to. Don't shilly-shally here.
Listen, you don't want to end up dog meat like some other pets around here, you see. What I've got to say is that it's a long and unforgiving road, and...
Sometimes episode 138 is better.
Listen, I'm your host, Daniel Ehrenberg, over here on the ones and the twos. And if you think I wasn't upset by some animal mischief this week, then you don't know me very well, you see.
Holy Christ. I'm your boy down here on the GSP, Henry Papale. How's everybody doing? Yeah, there's some disturbing shit.
I can't stop yet, Henry. I might do this voice for the whole episode, you see.
I would hope that's the case. That's what I...
Check back with me a little further down the road, and you might see whether I'm doing the voice or not anymore.
You could be going down the road. You could be.
Henry,
the long road to hoe.
Henry, these fucking movies.
Hey, we're trying to do stuff that's coming out this year. This was a perfect opportunity for a one-off.
Henry, I loved doing these movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this was a very enjoyable week for me. I'd never seen Pet Sematary 2 before.
I realized I'd seen some of it. I had definitely seen the first one, but not since I was a kid.
I'd only ever seen the first one. I did some Edward Furlong reading before I started watching it, Henry.
I bet that was entertaining.
Now, did you know that when he was 13, he fucked his 26-year-old tutor on the set of Terminator 2, and then they ended up living together?
Wow.
Did you know that?
I did not, but he does have a reputation for living on the edge, if you catch my rep.
Oh, yeah, he's in that video. So the whole time I'm watching this fucking movie, all I'm thinking about, anytime he's like telling his dad, like, come on, can't I stay out later? I'm like, he has been fucking a 26-year-old for the last year.
Yeah.
This little boy.
He doesn't need permission.
No.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? This kid, this child knows what the inside of an adult vagina feels like.
Oh my God. And I read a few things about him, not much. I mean, mainly it was like drug and alcohol related. I did not read
I knew about that shit.
Yeah.
That's why he doesn't have a carear today. There's nothing to do with his talent. He's a good actor.
Yeah, he is. What happened to the woman, I wonder?
Well, I think they tried to sue her, and they dated until 2003 or something. You know, Edward Furlong, he's been arrested a bunch of times for domestic violence.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a real Johnny Depp situation, another Stephen King actor. He's kind of an awful piece of shit.
Right.
Who beats up women. And you might blame that on alcohol, except that I was a low-bottom alcoholic and I've never touched a woman in a negative way.
Yeah.
I think there's got to be something at the heart of you to be able to do that.
I agree. He might have gone down that road before, but...
Listen, you don't want to go down that road, Eddie.
And there could be a lot of endless crates of Budweiser on his porch, but it wouldn't really matter, because if it's not in your heart, then it's not going to come out.
Okay. Henry, we ranked every Stephen King movie.
God bless us.
I know. Listen... He's made one movie and it's not good, but he's been involved in a lot of great movies. I think my thing with Stephen King is I like his general aesthetic. He writes about small towns a lot, which appeals to me, always in Maine. He writes about teens a lot. He writes supernatural shit, but it's never crazy. It's never like other planets or whatever. It's usually just like a virus or like a washer dryer that can kill you.
Right, you're right. He's big on household appliances, vehicles,
Animals.
animals. You're right about the outer space thing. I mean, I didn't really. There's a couple, but and by the way, that one movie you're talking about that he directed, I got some heavy hitter news for you, buddy. There's 12 movies worse than that one on this list.
Oh, I've got a bunch worse than that one too. I don't mind that movie at all. Actually, I think it's pretty fucking fun.
Movie is a fucking riot.
Yeah. So we ranked them all, and like I'm looking at my list here, and I've got 35 movies on this list, Henry.
I got 32.
And I gotta be honest here. 32 of them are perfectly watchable.
That's funny. Well, out of my 32, I'd say a good. Oh yeah, you're right. I'd say about a good 27 out of my 32 are perfectly watchable. Maybe even 28. Yep.
All right. Well, I'm excited to rank them, Henry. Before we go down the road of talking about Pet Sematary.
Do you think anyone will understand what we're doing with that?
Of course, come on. There were people that were excited for this episode. And I feel like it's the only thing anyone knows about Pet Sematary. You know, I didn't even remember that it's from Pet Sematary. There's a fucking character on South Park that has this voice. And I didn't realize it was a Pet Sematary reference.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to covering the first one because it was a lot. First of all, before we start this, I'd be very curious. Could you say how many Stephen King books you've read and when you stopped reading Stephen King?
Yeah, 100%. I've read maybe like 12 to 15 thereabouts.
Oh, wow. You beat me big time.
Well, he was one of those guys. I think I talked about this when we were covering fucking Jurassic Park, where I got way into Michael Crichton.
Yeah.
And it was this thing, it was like the summers, my parents were always going to the pool, and we had this like shitty cabin, and it had books in it for some reason, and there were all these like 90s bestsellers. And so I went through this like period of probably like 5 or 6 years of my life where I read a shit ton of Michael Crichton, John Grisham, Robin Cook, Dean Koontz, and Stephen King. And at the time, I don't think I even understood that like Stephen King was better than those people. Like, he just like had a bunch of books that I read. I knew a lot of them were made into movies, and so I read them.
Right.
And they're like random ones too. Like I've never read The Shining, but I read like
I didn't either.
I read like The Stand, and I read like I don't even fucking remember. Like, I think I read It. I think I read, fuck. I read Carrie. I know that. That's probably the biggest one.
I mean, I could tell you right here. I went between.
I think I read Thinner.
You didn't read Thinner?
No, I think I did.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
But I'd say between the ages of 12 and 14, I read about 5 or 6 of his books. I dug him. I'm pretty sure that I got into him when the movie Misery came out. That was my thing. So I read Misery, Thinner.
Henry was a huge Kathy Bates head at the time.
Big time.
He was way into it.
I did read Pet Sematary.
I never read that one. You know why? I think I didn't get the title. I think I thought it was like weirder than it was because it's like, ooh, what the fuck? It's spelled with an S, and then like the explanation in the movie is just like it's because like a kid wrote it.
Right.
Yeah. I read Cujo. I read Cujo. That's another one I read.
Oh, I didn't read that. Yeah. All I remember is of the ones I read of the 5 or 6.
And The Running Man. I read that.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Of the 5 or 6 I read, I always remember thinking I liked The Dark Half the best.
I never read that one, and I've never seen the movie, so I don't really know anything about that.
Oh, all right. Well, so we've both read Stephen King. We both like him. I think he's a.
I've grown to like him more and more as an adult.
Yeah.
Because he writes a lot of nostalgic shit, which like I'm now legitimately nostalgic for.
Sure, yeah.
His stuff is very evocative.
I mean, I always said, without trying to sound snobby, honestly, I think he's a really good storyteller. And it's not great writing.
It's pretty good writing though, and he's good at
It is
characterization.
pretty good writing, but you know what I'm saying. He's not. It's just different tiers. It's just like every type of art.
You just think all fiction should be Philip Roth.
Well, what I was going to say was just like all tiers of art have different kind of categories. He's like.
Go on.
Just say it? If Philip Roth is like a symphony, then like Stephen King is like an awesome.
What the fuck are you doing?
I'm trying to make analogies. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm trying to do. You just don't want to be a jerk and do it.
Yeah. I think, J.J. Abrams is producing that Castle Rock show on Hulu now.
Yeah.
And I think that's about right. To me, he's like the
should I say
J.J.
he's a
Abrams of
writer?
literature.
But Stephen King treads a line because I don't want to say he's like just like a pulp writer because he's really good.
I think J.J. Abrams is really good.
Yeah. So, okay, whatever. I don't have to be a snob. Stephen King's awesome.
Yeah, he's great. Let's do our top 35 Stephen King movies.
Our listeners, you can fast forward to 45 minutes ahead if you're not.
Bullshit. This is all people want to hear, I think.
All right. Well, you're starting.
Okay. Yeah, you'll come in at number 32. Is that right?
That's right.
All right, listen. My number 35. This is all Stephen King. It's shit based on Stephen King books. That's what we're doing. We did no TV shows.
No TV shows, but we did do mini-series.
Right. We did miniseries.
And I included Pet Sematary 2, even though it has nothing to do with...
I did too. I also included a Children of the Corn sequel.
Okay. All right.
Because I've only ever seen 2 Children of the Corn movies.
I haven't seen any.
Number 35, Henry. The worst Stephen King movie I've ever seen.
Ooh.
All right. And it does have one very interesting performance in it by Mr. John Turturro. But my number 35 is aforementioned shithead Johnny Depp's Secret Window.
That is an abominable piece of shit. We agree.
Yeah, bad movie.
Because I don't know how much we're going to agree on this.
We're not going to agree because my number 34, Henry, is a movie. I don't know if you've seen it, but I bet you like it. Because it's one of those movies that there's nothing truly objectionable to it, except I think it's super boring. Remember when we covered Ron Howard movies and I had The Missing real low?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My number 34 is Dolores Claiborne.
Oh, yeah. I have that real high.
Yeah, I thought so.
And I've only seen it once.
Yeah, me too. Who needs to see Dolores Claiborne? All
right. Well... Okay, go ahead.
All right, my number 33, Henry.
Yes.
Is a remake, TV remake, starring one of our greatest character actors, Steven Weber.
Oh.
As Jack Torrance in a very faithful adaptation of The Shining.
I refused to watch it. When it came out, and never did.
Yeah, well, that's one of those Mick Garris joints. He's directed like 1,000 Stephen King adaptations.
I know that name. Yeah.
Yeah, from Stephen King movies.
I guess so. All right. I'll chime in now.
Please do.
Number 32, and the worst Stephen King movie ever made for me... The Lawnmower Man.
Oh, The Lawnmower Man. But what about those sweet, sweet VR scenes?
Yeah.
Listen, I have a soft spot for 90s VR scenes, Henry. It's why I love Disclosure so much.
And Virtuosity.
Sure. And the TV show Prophet. And
Matt's Headroom.
And that one episode of Mad About You from the first season where Paul Reiser gets obsessed with VR.
Jesus Christ. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. So what's your 32 is Lawnmower Man. I'm going to say this is my 32, another sinfully boring movie.
Okay.
So maybe you'll like this one too. But I think this is more saccharine than Dolores Claiborne. And it is Hearts in Atlantis.
Never saw it.
It's sort of like if Stephen King wrote like Tuesdays with Maury.
Yeah, I remember when it came out and the trailer just looked nauseating, so I had no interest.
Yeah, it's fucking boring. What's 31?
31 could have actually easily been 32. It just I don't know. I saw it more recently. I haven't seen Lawnmower Man in like 30 fucking years. So,
well, you're missing out.
Yeah, I might be. And this next one's probably the worst one, really. But I went with Dreamcatcher.
Henry, improbably, my number 31 is Dreamcatcher.
Wow.
And no, Dreamcatcher, I do think Lawnmower Man's better. Like, honestly, I'm okay with your two movies on your list so far. Dreamcatcher is like a shitty movie, especially in the second half. But, like, early on has that sort of, like, a bunch of characters broing down magic that Stephen King has, overlapping dialogue, chemistry, and it's got a good cast. Jason Lee's in it, and it's got a
we just have that
it's
issue
got a butt
of
monster. There's that great scene with the guy on the toilet.
Yeah, the aliens being shit into existence is just kind of an issue.
That might be the best part of the movie. What's 30?
Number 30 is Pet Sematary 2.
Ooh, a little spoiler for how Henry feels about Pet Sematary 2. All right, my 30 is also a sequel, Henry. And that is The Rage, Carrie 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
What year was that?
That was late 90s, maybe 98, 99. It was right around the time of the post-Scream horror boom.
That was one of those movies I wasn't sure if I've seen, but I'm almost positive I haven't. So
I saw it. It's, fine for that era. I like the girl who plays young. It's not Carrie. I don't know why. It's like Carrie's niece or some bullshit. It's Emily Bergel, an actress I always thought should have had a bigger career.
Oh, all right.
Yes, suck on that. All right. What's your Bergel? Yeah, Bergel. What's your 29?
Number 29 is a piece of shit that I didn't even realize was Stephen King when I watched it until I did this list. This was a Henry 3 years ago looking for a horror movie on Netflix.
Oh, no.
Didn't know it was Stephen King. It's garbage. It's called Mercy.
Mercy?
Yeah.
Is John Cusack in that?
No, I don't think so. It's got that terrible, terrible kid from The Walking Dead who they finally killed.
Who?
Chandler Riggs.
Oh, the main kid from The Walking Dead. Yeah. I don't mind that kid. I mean, I don't mind him on The Walking Dead like everyone else did, but I've never seen him in anything else. I'm not about to seek it out or anything.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it was there, and I parked to it.
Henry, has he ridden with Norman Reedus yet? On my favorite show, Ride with Norman Reedus?
Oh, God. Who hasn't ridden Norman Reedus? Am I right?
I saw a fucking ad for season 3 of, by the way, season 3.
I was just going to say.
Yeah.
What?
Okay. Ride with Norman Reedus. And it was like, great guests this year. Andrew Lincoln and Melissa McBride and this other guy from The Walking Dead. It was only Walking Dead people now. Nobody wants to ride with this motherfucker.
No, nobody wants any parts of this guy.
You can't get Ron Perlman to ride with you? Get out of here.
Yeah, no one wants, this guy doesn't talk. It'd be a very boring ride.
Norman
Reedus.
Yeah, from the Boondock Saints.
Oh, that's a bad movie.
That is a bad movie. All right, what are we up to?
I said my 29 was Mercy. So
right, my 29 is The Lawnmower Man.
Okay.
Number 28.
Secret Window.
Yep, shitty. My number 28 is Maximum Overdrive.
Not fair.
It's good. It's fine. I like all these movies.
No, I have a bias also for Maximum Overdrive. Obviously.
Why? Are you a big Green Goblin fan?
No, I'm kind of a big fan of the band that did the entire soundtrack.
Oh, that's right. Fucking hell. Of course, AC/DC did the whole soundtrack to that movie.
Yeah, King's favorite band.
Whose favorite band? Oh, Stephen King. That's his favorite band?
Yeah, man. He went to them and approached them about doing it, and then went backstage after the movie came out and told them in their whatever green room backstage in Maine, obviously, because he wouldn't leave that state to go see them, that he was sorry it was such a piece of shit. He would never direct again, and the only thing that worked in the movie was the music.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's honest, and
he
never did direct again.
I love it. He never did direct again. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Number 27 is 1408.
I like that movie. That's quite a bit higher on my list.
It's totally fine. Yeah.
Sammy J. And it was John Cusack before he was, bored of acting.
Just on the cusp of that, I'd say.
No, I would say you had a good couple years left.
I don't know, man.
Maybe. You might be right. All right.
No.
20... What are we up to? 27 is Pet Sematary 2.
Oh, all right. We're in alignment so far.
I think so.
Say. Okay, number 26. I realized I had seen the 2013 remake of Carrie.
Oh, I forgot about that. Is that Chloe Moretz?
Yeah. Again, watchable.
What's she gonna do? Chloe, where's her career going?
Waiting for Kick-Ass 3.
I don't know. She was in that Louis C.K. movie that they never released.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think that might have hurt her a little
Actually, I just saw her in a trailer last night when I went to see The Favorite.
Oh, yeah? What's she doing? You saw The Favorite? How's that?
I did. It's fucking great.
All right, good. I'm glad you loved it. What's?
Did you see it?
Yeah, I loved it. What's Moretz up to?
She's making a thriller with Isabelle Huppert.
Oh, by the way, I saw the fucking trailer for that movie, and it looks dynamite.
Yeah.
Greta? Is that the name of that thing?
Greta.
Oh, my God, dude. I'm going to be there in the fucking front row. You know who directed that piece of shit?
No, I don't remember. No.
I don't think they said it in the trailer, but I looked it up after I watched the trailer because I desperately wanted to watch the movie immediately.
Right.
And it's Neil Jordan.
It is?
I swear to Christ.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I like Neil Jordan, man.
Yeah, I know you do. You're a big fan of that shitty Jodie Foster movie he did.
Which one is that?
The Brave One.
Oh, I did like that, and I liked Byzantium from 5 or 6 years ago. Did you ever see that one?
No.
With Saoirse Ronan?
It's Saoirse Ronan. Thank you very much. I like, The Crying Game or whatever.
Nah, I like Neil Jordan, man. He's cool.
I like Michael Collins, all right.
The End of the Affair.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. All right. What's your 26?
Did you say you're 26?
Yeah, Carrie.
Oh, right, the remake. So my 26 is a movie that's totally fine. Unfortunately, 3 hours long, and that's The Green Mile. Oh,
yeah. That's fair. It's much higher on mine, but yeah.
Of course it is.
Oh, it's problematic. Let's put it that way.
Henry loves a very stolid, boring, magical realist Tom Hanks film. That's right up your alley, buddy.
I liked your first...
Right up your road.
Right up my road. The first two adjectives were accurate. The Tom Hanks and the magical that not so much.
What do you mean? You love Eternal Sunshine and shit and 6 Feet Under.
That's totally different. All right. Now, coming in at number 25, this will probably be the only movie on here that'll raise your ire, but I would have put it even lower. But it's been a long time, and it's probably a good movie, but I have zero affection for it, and that is Stand By Me.
Yeah, well, my thing with Stand By Me is I was never into that movie, and I watched it like probably 6 months ago or something, and now I fucking love that movie.
Right. All right.
I turned. My number 25, Henry, is a very fine anthology film, of which Stephen King has a couple, and that is Cat's Eye.
I never saw Cat's Eye.
It's pretty stupid, but it's totally worth watching.
All right. Well, my number 24 is an anthology film.
Oh.
And I like it very much. And that is Tales from the Dark Side.
I've never seen that.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't even know that was a Stephen King thing.
Well, I think it's just like one of the stories is his, but it's one of the best ones. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's damn good.
My number 24, Henry. Listen. It's thinner.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
But
I watched it again recently.
Me too.
And well, that's funny. God, what was that streaming on? There's no other reason I would have watched it.
I think that might have been a Tubi situation, Henry.
Oh, not for me, but oh, by the way, thanks for the Tubi rec. You're absolutely right.
It's totally good.
Totally good. Yeah, Thinner I remembered being complete garbage, and it's entertaining.
It's totally entertaining. I'm a big fan of that dude Robert John Burke, who plays the lead. He's in a ton of Hal Hartley movies.
Yeah.
And I like that guy a lot. And the fat makeup on him is very funny.
Oh my God. That was exactly as I remembered it as a teenager. Yep.
You know what you forget about that movie is there's another spell in the movie where she says, she touches a dude and she goes like, lizard.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? And he just turns into like a lizard?
That's right.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
All right. What's your number 23?
All right, 23 and 22 are kind of lumped together, and I only put them there because I watched them in their entirety on television, and I remember liking them. 23 is the Tommyknockers.
I've never seen that. That's a miniseries, right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. What's that about? Knocking a Tommy.
Aliens, actually.
Oh, really? So he went hard sci-fi. See, I stayed away from that.
Yeah, but you don't go to outer space. He doesn't go to outer space.
No,
but,
he probably goes to Maine, if I'm guessing correctly.
Right, which I've never been to, but, could be from outer space. Yeah, that's Tommyknockers. I don't remember much about it, but I remember liking it as a teen.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My number 23 is a very mediocre film. And it is called The Shawshank Redemption.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Next week we'll be covering that right there, folks. That's just a fuck you, Henry. That's all that is.
It's not. This is an honest ranking of Stephen King movies, and that is the 23rd best.
Oh my God! I guess it should be honored. There were like 12 things ahead of it.
Well, see, if I really wanted to fuck you, Henry, I would have put it like around, Lawnmower Man or something.
Yeah. All right. Number 22 is The Stand.
Yeah, I watched The Stand. The Stand is his best book.
Okay.
It's fucking baller.
All right.
And the comic book adaptation of it is very good, and the miniseries adaptation of it could benefit from just like better effects, like a budget.
Well, they're
or
redoing
something.
it, right?
Well, I don't know. That one's a tough one to redo because it's so epic. Like they've had a hard time with that kind of shit. Like The Dark Tower is the same way.
Yeah, but I thought it was actually in production.
I mean, I'm sure it is, but I'm sure it's also been in production for like 20 years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. But it's not a bad adaptation. I have it actually a little bit higher than you do, but all
right.
The book is so good.
All right.
My number 22 is his werewolf film, which is a pretty solid werewolf movie, but not on the level of, say, The Howling or American Werewolf in London, and that is Silver Bullet.
Never saw it.
Yeah, totally. You'd like that movie, Henry.
Yeah, is it
That's
stolid
like
and boring?
No. It's just like the other thing you like, Henry. Just like a solid 80s movie.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I will check that out. All
Yeah.
right. Number 21.
And Gary
is-
Busey, by the way,
Oh.
going nuts. And a
So-
young Corey Haim at the top of his Corey game.
21. Boy, Timothy Hutton's trying his best. The Dark Half.
Yeah, see, I don't know that movie. I like Timothy Hutton, though.
So do I.
He's the best part of that shitty Ordinary People movie.
That's a great movie.
My number 21 is the American adaptation of that he, I guess, wrote the miniseries of. I don't think it's based on one of his books. It's an adaptation of the Lars von Trier series, The Kingdom, which is very good.
Okay.
And that is Kingdom Hospital, as it was called here.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
The Kingdom, the original by Lars von Trier, well worth checking out.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. We're into the top 20.
We sure are.
And
No signs
Well-
of slowing down, baby.
no signs of slowing down. Who made who down this road is maximum overdone. I mean overdrive.
Right, okay, and my 20 is The Stand.
All right. And from here on out, I'm like previously, I'm enjoying all these films.
Yup, these are all threes and up, baby.
I would agree. I agree with that. Number 19, Pet Sematary.
Yep, Pet Sematary. Oh, well, spoilers for your Pet Sematary, great.
Well,
And spoilers for mine, considering it hasn't come up on the list yet.
correct.
My number 19, Henry, a movie I don't feel great about liking anymore, and I will never be able to watch it again.
Ooh.
All right. And that is Apt Pupil.
Oh, well, I never saw it, and I never will, so, yeah.
Henry,
Yeah.
you heard about this Bryan Singer situation?
I've heard bits and pieces, yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we all knew, we've been making jokes on the show for years now,
Yeah.
that Bryan Singer's a child rapist.
Right.
Now, reports have come out this week that, yes, we can confirm Bryan Singer is a child rapist.
Oh, they just confirmed that.
Yep.
Okay.
And so Bryan Singer had been attached to direct an adaptation of Red Sonja, Henry.
Okay.
Okay? Now, you might think that they'd want to maybe fire him from that job for being a child rapist.
I would think he's not on that, right? They took him off.
Nope, still on it. Sticking with him.
Jesus Christ.
So this is now Bryan Singer, who his last film, Bohemian Rhapsody, granted a hit. And
Yeah.
an Oscar-nominated hit now for Best
Yeah.
Picture. But he got fired off that movie like halfway through for not showing up to set.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
His previous movie before that one, I don't think they ever finished making it. He got fired off of that one for the same reason.
Oh my God.
Now we know he's a child rapist, and we're still making this guy's movies. What does he have over Hollywood?
I don't know. Right. Yeah. I don't know, man. These other creeps go down for the most part, and this guy, what's happening
This
here?
guy is fucking Teflon, man.
Well, you know what, man? I gotta say, besides the producers of anything who are usually pieces of shit, it's got to start with the actors. They've got to just start saying, "I'm not interested."
Well, yeah, and I don't think they've cast Red Sonja yet. So that's my hope. Is just like he'll be anathema. Like people will not work with this guy. But like,
Please.
who knows? Rami Malek got nominated for an Oscar for working with this fucking guy.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just unbelievable. I watched The Gifted on Fox. He's an executive producer on that show. His name's still appearing in the credits. What does it take? I got written up at work a couple months ago for being 4 minutes late. This guy's raped children.
Employable.
Come on.
Wow. You know what, man? He'll get his. I
hate him.
He'll get his.
But how is he not getting his yet?
I don't know, man, but it'll happen.
They asked the producer, like, why didn't you drop him? And he played the fucking fake news card.
Really? Did he really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's been that's disgusting. Jesus Christ.
So anyway, Apt Pupil, the 19th best Bryan Singer movie. And do you remember that? By the way, he makes The Usual Suspects. Cast Kevin Spacey in that thing.
Yeah. I know.
Then his follow-up movie is Apt Pupil. And I remember, like, being a kid, I had like a subscription to Entertainment Weekly at the time, and there was like an article in Entertainment Weekly about how like there's trouble behind the scenes of Apt Pupil. People are like accusing the director Bryan Singer of like forcing underage teen boys to like do scenes. There was like this scene where like Brad Renfro gets beat up in the shower at school.
Ugh.
And, like, people were saying, like, that scene, like, they didn't shoot that properly. Like, and that was, like, 25 years ago, Henry.
This motherfucker's been getting away with this shit for a long time. I mean, a lot of them do, though, right? I mean, Spacey and Weinstein, Cosby, they all got away with it for a quarter of a century.
I know, but some of them, I mean, it's post-Me Too.
But they're done. That's the difference between him and them. They're fucking done.
He's attached to direct a big budget studio movie right now.
That's fucked up, man. I don't know. He's a fucking sickening individual. What can I say?
Yeah. All right. Let's get through this list.
What's your number?
Well, I knew I wanted to talk about that.
I don't blame you. I mean, it's grotesque. So,
what's your number 18?
Number 18. I really would like to see this movie again. I remember liking it quite a bit, and that is Needful Things.
That's another one I know nothing about.
Oh, yeah. Good movie. Yeah. Okay.
My number 18 is the original Children of the Corn. And I tried to... I went... This was around the time I watched like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, coming up with the seeds for this podcast.
Sure. Oh,
and my idea was I was going to watch all the Children of the Corn movies. And I made it like halfway through the second one. And I was like, I can't. These are boring.
Right.
And our old friend Aaron forced me to watch the third one.
Oh.
Because he was like, listen, if you're going to watch one, watch that one. And he was right. That's higher up on the list.
Aaron usually is right about that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Number 17 for me scared the living shit out of me when I was a kid. And I believe it still holds up, and that is oh no, I read that wrong. Sorry. Number 17 is the remake, which did not scare the shit out of me. That is It.
Oh, okay. I knew where you were going with that. All right. Yeah, that's all right. My number 17 is that aforementioned Children of the Corn movie recommended to me by Aaron, Children of the Corn 3, Urban Harvest. Now, you might think it'd be, sort of not in fitting with the Children of the Corn franchise to move it to the hood. No. And you'd be right, but it made for a pretty fun movie. Yeah. Yeah, it's like Leprechaun in the Hood, but about a harvest of corn.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. Number 16, Thinner.
Sure, Thinner. That's very high. I'm fine with it, though. We sort of traded these. My number 16 is 1408.
Oh, wow. All right. Number 15, and you can illuminate this for me. I'm pretty sure he only wrote a couple of the things in it, but it doesn't matter. I love this movie. It is Creepshow.
Yeah. I don't think he wrote all of them, but he was involved with all of them. in some
I love it.
capacity. Yeah, I love that movie too. That's higher up for me. My number 15 is the remake of It. And, in doing this, I realized, I saw the original It as a kid, and it scared the bejesus out of me. But, I didn't remember it well enough to feel comfortable ranking it.
Okay, I did. I did, yeah.
Yeah, so 15 is the remake, which I thought was a perfectly respectable little horror movie, and I'm looking forward to the sequel.
My next 3 in a row, I just realized, are not better than Creepshow.
Okay.
Sometimes you look at it again, even though I reviewed this like 3 times prior to recording. But
sometimes when you're reading it on the air, you're like, that's not right.
Yeah, this is definitely not right. But okay, whatever. It's already written down, but I do like Creepshow better than the next 3. Okay, number 14, Gerald's Game.
Oh, right. That just came out like a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that movie either.
You didn't see that?
No.
Huh? It was easy. It was Netflix.
I hate you. All right. My number 14, Henry, is my second child Drew Barrymore movie on the list. It is Firestarter.
Never saw Firestarter.
Totally good. Yeah. We could do that for the franchise.
Oh, they're redoing. That's right.
There was that Firestarter 2 Rekindled. Remember that movie?
I do not.
Yeah, no. Might have been a TV movie. I'm not sure.
All right. Number 13. I remember this got a lot of shit when it came out. Another one came out a couple of years ago or a year ago on Netflix. I thought it was fucking great. Starring Stephen King, great Thomas Jane, and that is 1922.
What's 1922?
It's a movie that takes place in 1922.
Is it? I don't know anything about it. I've never heard of that.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. It's really good, dude. I recommend it as a good Stephen King movie. Solid. Thomas Jane turning in some strong work.
Who are you, Leonard Maltin? Keep your eyes peeled for a young Charlie Theron and Children of the Corn 3.
There you go.
Right. Yeah. Henry, my number 13 is I don't want to be buried in a pet cemetery.
Oh, yeah. All right.
It's my Ramones impression.
Yeah, I listened to the first line of the song.
Shut up. That song's awesome. You know, and then I was reading about the movie after, and it was like, Ramones fans fucking hate this song.
Yeah, I read that too.
They were being a sellout. And I was like, shut up. It's a good song.
I agree. Who cares? Number 12, also not better than Creepshow. The Green Mile.
No, that is not better than Creepshow. My number 12 is another movie I watched kind of recently and totally holds up. The very fine dog movie, Cujo.
Oh, yeah.
The only problem with that movie is Cujo is fucking cute.
Yeah, they picked like a Saint Bernard, right?
Yeah, it's too cute.
Yeah, not a good choice for a dog, but I guess a good point. But
it is kind of a people trapped somewhere together movie. They're in that car for a big chunk of the movie.
Oh, it's we're getting there. I'll mention my take on that. Number 11, Dolores Claiborne.
Yep, very high. My number 11, it sort of doesn't really count, but I wanted to include it. And that he wrote one episode of The X-Files, Henry.
Okay.
And it's an episode I like a lot, and it's called Chinga, about a killer doll.
There's nothing wrong with that, man. Go for it. Yeah.
Thank you. So my number 11 is Chinga from The X-Files, probably around like season 5 or 6. And,
all right.
Good stuff.
All right.
Good he writes a good Mulder and Scully convo scene.
That's
cool. Got some spark.
That's
You can tell he watched the show. All right.
All right, we're into the top 10.
Yeah, we are. I'm very happy with my top 10.
I am happy with mine, too. And my number 10 is the 1990 TV miniseries It.
Okay, yeah. My number 10 is also a miniseries, Henry, a much more recent miniseries from a Hulu original series that I really, really liked. and that is 11/22/63.
A friend of mine recommended that I check that out, and the only reason I haven't is because it's on like 3 discs, and I don't feel like waiting.
Just watch
for all
on
3.
Hulu. Oh, you don't have Hulu. Jesus
I don't
Christ.
have Hulu.
All right.
No, I'll
Totally
check
worth
it out.
watching. Totally worth watching. Good
It
stuff.
is? Okay.
Yeah. James Franco, given one of those "I'm trying" performances.
Yeah, he did that recently in the Coen Brothers. My least favorite Coen Brothers vignette of their latest film.
Oh, the Buster Scruggs.
Yeah,
Which was your least favorite?
that one with James Franco,
Which one was that? Oh,
the hanging man.
I
sort of
like
thing.
that one. No, the worst one by a mile. Cut it out of the whole movie, and I think you got something. Is the Zoe Kazan one?
Oh, I disagree.
Get out of here with that.
That was great.
Didn't like it.
All right.
All right. What's your number 9?
Number 9 is a movie I haven't seen for a long time, but it's The Dead Zone.
Sure, a great movie. My number 9 is Creepshow.
Good call. My number 8, a movie that didn't come to me until later in life on a VHS, maybe in your box of videos. I don't know, but Cujo. I
never owned that, but okay. I love that you discovered that later in life on VHS.
I did. Some reason I never had seen it until, I don't know, some point I was living in New York and I grabbed a copy of that on video. I don't know where, I don't know who, I don't know how, but I loved it. And it's real good. Real good.
My number 8 is a movie that I discovered later in life, Henry. I was going through a bit of an Arnold Schwarzenegger phase, and I finally got around to watching The Running Man.
Fuck yeah.
Totally great.
Yes, sir. Now, I made a note from number 7 to the bottom. I wrote an asterisk, and I wrote the word, "This was difficult."
Oh, God. All right, what's number 7?
Christine.
Yep, great movie. My number 7 is The Dead Zone.
All right, we're simpatico here. Number 6 is The Running Man.
All right, we're not simpatico here because my number 6 is Stand By Me.
I knew that was going to happen, so that's fair. Yeah. All right, everybody. Here we go into a major, major time that this is going to play.
These are the grand slams, the slap shots, the touchdowns, the
curling when the puck gets close to the circle. These are the heavy hitters of the franchise. Heavy hitters.
Henry,
Carey.
That is a heavy hitter at number 5, Carey. You know, you're recording a little bit differently this week, and
right.
The heavy hitters theme, it sounded like this echoey thing, like it was announcing a midnight movie from the 70s or something.
It's either the way I'm recording or I altered something on my media sounds, which made it sound like a concert hall.
It was odd.
Kind of cool, though.
Yeah, my number 5, and you might think that Rob Reiner is my favorite filmmaker when you find out that I have back-to-back at 6 and 5 his movies. My number 5 is Misery.
Great movie. Great movie. So that's your number 5.
Right.
Okay. My number 4 is Misery.
My number 4 is Christine.
Did he do Christine?
What do you mean? You just had Christine on your list.
Yeah, I did, but I didn't remember who directed it.
Stand By Me and Misery are Rob Reiner. Christine is John Carpenter, you dumb shit.
Of course it is. Of course it is. You confused me. Stand By Me, Rob Reiner. That makes more sense why I don't like it. Okay.
All right.
Number 4 was... All right.
Top 3, Henry?
Oh. Number 3, The Mist.
That's my number 3.
Oh, wow.
I love you, Henry. Listen,
right back at you, pal.
Oh, I want to give you a hug right now.
I thought that. Okay, all right. I'll say my thoughts afterwards. So that's number 3. So the number 2, you might want to take that hug right back, is The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, no. I didn't even realize it hadn't come up yet. That's ridiculous. Come on. My number 2, a movie that you have at number 5, inexplicably, is Carrie.
What do you mean inexplicably? I put this...
To me, my number 1 and 2 are just rock solid.
Yeah.
Could never be changed.
That's fine. And the number one movie ever made, I honestly thought you were going to say The Mist, but
Nah, The Shining. Come on.
it's The Shining.
Yeah.
One of Stephen King's least favorite adaptations of his work.
Of course. Which is still so crazy to me. But
It happens to be by the greatest director who ever lived on this planet. And
okay. It's a perfect movie.
yeah, it's amazing.
All right,
guys. Wow.
We made it down that road. Let's
Went down that road.
Let's start a new one. We're talking about Pet Sematary. I don't even want to do the fucking year lists. Do we have to?
We don't.
Can we skip them?
You could skip it, man. You guys will. You could hear them. 89.
You want to hear my
90.
1989 list? Listen to Batman. You want to hear my
Right.
92 list? Listen to fucking
Batman.
Batman Returns. Yeah.
Yeah. Or any of the Nightmare movie. Yeah, you guys can hear them. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay, listen, Pet Sematary. It is directed by a lady, Henry.
I know. I dug that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Mary Lambert, who probably best remembered for her music video work.
Is that right?
Yeah, you familiar with her?
I mean, I read up on her a little bit, but let's go ahead for the summary.
Well, she was Madonna's gal in the 80s.
Oh, Like a Prayer, right?
Like a Prayer, Like a Virgin, Borderline, fucking Material Girl, all of them.
Yeah.
La Isla Bonita, Henry.
And all except Bonita, I remember those videos.
Yeah,
so she
very memorable. She didn't only work with Madonna, Henry. You remember the video for Nasty by Janet Jackson?
I certainly do.
She directed that.
As when I was a kid, Madonna and Janet Jackson were two of my earliest crushes.
Oh, well, come on. If you're like, what were you, a teen in the 80s?
No, I was a kid, but, 1990, 91, I was 12, 13 years old.
Oh, then it's conceivable that you had your first orgasm thinking about one of those two.
I believe that's a possibility.
I love that.
Oh, I had a trio. It was like...
What, were you reading the fucking sex book? You were like, oh, fucking...
I remember that.
Fucking Vanilla Ice, oh...
I remember I had kind of a trio, Madonna, Janet Jackson, and Paula Abdul.
Sure.
Opposite
You were like, I want to be that fucking cat.
I did. I totally wanted to be
I
the
want to
cartoon
be MC
cat.
Scat Cat.
Yep, 100%.
All right. So she directed all those videos. And then her big break was Pet Sematary. I guess she got the job through Madonna or whatever.
Probably, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she had her back. So she did Pet Sematary, and then, honestly, she did Pet Sematary 2. I mean, I've never seen a career like that where, like, Pet Sematary put her on the map, and then Pet Sematary 2 took her right back off it.
Yeah, it's true. Well, it's kind of evident in the final product, in my opinion, but...
So I'm looking at her fucking her credits here. I do see a movie from 1997 called My Stepson, My Lover, and I would love to watch that. But
Sounds like an Edward Furlong joint.
sounds like the plot of every porno since 2013.
There you go.
She directed a movie I've seen called The In Crowd from 2000. She made her bones in that like post Scream era. She got back into it a little bit, made some horror movies. She did one of the Urban Legend sequels.
So she was still working.
She's still working, but like she does like bullshit now. She did like a movie for the Sci-Fi Channel, and she directed an episode of Arrow, that kind of thing.
All right, well, whatever, man. We've said it before. Still employed.
She's still employed. She's doing it. So Lambert, she directs both of these movies. The first one of these movies, which I didn't realize, is written by Stephen fucking King, adapting his own work.
Yeah, I didn't know he did that. That was surprising to me. I don't know how many times he's actually done that.
I feel like maybe more than you think.
Yeah, maybe. I think you're right.
How many times has Richard Bachman got behind that old typewriter and opened up his final draft folder?
Oh, yeah. I remember when I read the book, I was a teenager, and so I watched the movie, and I remember always having the thought that Pet Sematary as a book was my least favorite book of his. And I didn't remember much about the movie except it being sort of middling. And I had quite a different experience this time.
Well, part of the movie, Henry, honestly, is that fucking voice we've been doing the whole time by this guy, Fred Gwynn.
Fucking great.
He died just a couple years after this. He's probably best remembered for being Herman Munster.
Yeah, that, and then his last role, right? Would it have been? Was it My Cousin Vinny?
Oh yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, he's the judge in that. But fucking that guy in this movie it's just one of those supporting performances that just makes the movie.
You're absolutely right. I mean, honestly, without him, you have a bunch of sort of B-list actors.
Honestly, Henry, the biggest problem with this movie is the casting. Other than that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that I thought the father was pretty vanilla,
horrible.
Pretty well, yeah, okay, you're right,
just
but
bland.
The wife was worse. I thought
they both were bad. They both were, and the whole fucking clan. Like the kids were kind of better than the parents. It's just such an odd choice for this movie, which is this really fucking fun, well-made movie, and you got Fred Gwynn giving this nutsoid performance. Like, you can't tell me they couldn't have gotten someone a little better for these parents. Just anybody. I'm not asking for like a big name or anything.
David Hasselhoff.
You get to the sequel, like Clancy Brown's in it. Give me that guy.
I know. I agree with you. I mean, but Fred Gwynn is so good in it that this doesn't happen often. But especially in a movie like this, I became completely aware of how much dialogue he's given. Like he has sequences.
I feel like they had to give him more. After they started making the movie, they were just like, "Let's this guy's the movie."
Yeah, sorry, Dale Midriff. You're gonna have to take a seat.
Is that the main guy's name?
Dale something.
Just a nothing. Yeah. So, but I mean, there are like random scenes with that guy because really, like at first, all you super need him for is for him to like show the dad the pet cemetery and the place beyond the pet cemetery. You know, the Indian burial ground that revives the dead. That's the premise of the movie.
Micmac.
The Micmacs, I know. I love that shit. It's so stupid. But then like there's all these random scenes with that guy later in the movie, like where like he's just like, "Hey, you want a beer? Come here and hang out on my front porch. We'll talk about what might be down on that road."
It's true. I think you're right. They like reinserted Gwyn into the movie to just have something going.
You want a beer? You need an opener? No. Good man.
There's like charisma in everything he says.
Yeah.
You know, that's a fine coffee table you have over there.
I want to know more. I would watch like a fucking YouTube series of this dude reviewing coffee tables.
When I mow my lawn, they call me the lawnmower man.
He should be the protagonist of that.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is my old Buick. Her name's Christine.
Well, that's kind of what that new show is. Castle Rock.
Oh yeah. Oh really?
That's like this. I watched the first 5 episodes of it and I liked it. I just like haven't kept going for whatever. I think it was like on right around the time I moved and it just like got lost in the shuffle. But like
what is it? Like a bunch of characters from other?
It's just like an adaptation of Stephen King, where it like takes place in this one town in Maine, where like all of Stephen King's shit happened. So like some characters like work at Shawshank, and then you'll get references like, "Did you hear about that dog that happened a few years ago? There was this weird dog around town."
So it's like you got like a Shyamalan's thing going on where all this weird shit happens in Philadelphia,
Yes, exactly.
or like Marvel's New York City where you can't move
It's
around.
exactly like that. It's just like this one town in Maine where some weird shit has happened. Weren't there those butthole aliens here a few years back? Remember when that one girl got humiliated at her prom, and then the next day that author was found?
You know, I had a clog in my toilet, but the plumbers won't come around here anymore because there's a clown in the sewer.
So I went to stay in a hotel, and across the way there was another weird hotel.
And I happened to check into room 1408.
Yeah. But then I ran into this lady, and she whispered in my ear, "Lizard."
But if you need anything, go down to the store, needful things. Just the proprietor's a little creepy.
Just stay away from that Mack truck.
By the way, there's a secret window. You don't ever open it.
God.
You'll just find nothing but misery around here.
Don't go down that road. You might find the train. That'll lead you to the car.
This refrigerator was built in 1922.
Oh, I can't do it anymore.
All night.
Oh.
You don't get any Wi-Fi down here. It's kind of a dead zone, but...
Yeah. But, it feels good to be living near those military men over there on that hill doing the experiments up there.
Yeah, listen, son, just stand by me and you'll be fine.
The Shining. Okay, so Pet Sematary.
We're just trying to complete our 35...
Yeah, I just wanted to say The Shining. Oh, okay. Pet Sematary was released 1989. I feel like they missed an opportunity there. One day after 420, I feel like it was a good weed movie. It was made for a budget of $11.5 million, and this baby was a hit, Henry. It made
a lot of money.
$57.5 million.
Good for it.
Good for it.
That's right.
Yeah. I forgot to write down where that was that year, so I'm looking that up now. But
where what was?
In the rankings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like to do that, but
it's number 2 behind Batman.
There's no way that's true, Henry.
I know.
I can't find it. Pet Sematary was a hit. Where is it? Hank, this is dead air right here, and it's all
right. Well, you don't really have to.
Henry, it's number 23. Come on, listen to this. This is a hit. Number 23, Between Sea of Love and the Abyss. It was big.
Ooh, a great movie and a terrible movie.
No, I like the Abyss. So originally, Henry, George Romero purchased the rights for the book Pet Sematary for $10,000.
I like that.
Yeah. But he ended up deciding he was going to write his own animal horror movie, and he made Monkey Shines, An Experiment in Fear.
I remember that movie.
Pet Sematary is better. I got news for you.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I remember the poster for Monkey Shines. It's scary.
I didn't know anything about Monkey Shines, and I saw it on TV one day with my sister when I was a kid, and we were just like so blown away by this very serious movie about a monkey.
Right.
Yeah, but anyway.
Project X.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the movie starts, Henry, Pet Sematary. It's an idyllic scene. A family. It's got a man and a lady. They've got a
lousy
young
music.
There's a young lad. What'd you say? Music?
Lousy music that's telling us everything's happy and fine.
Oh, well, yeah. That's why I say it's idyllic. They're trying to get that across. There's a young girl in the family. A real nuclear family, Hank. And there's even a little tire swing in the backyard. And they're moving into this new place at a new town in Maine.
Yeah. Not much of a town. I did make note of that. There's two houses.
Well, that's not true. It's just one of these towns where everything's like spread apart. It's like
Boy, I couldn't see
Woodsboro
anything.
in Scream.
I couldn't see anything for miles.
Well, we know that there's a school.
Yeah. No, but my favorite line, well, not my favorite line. There's too many for that. Cut your nuts off being one of them. But when Fred Gwynn, he fooled me. He says, well, if you need anything, I live in the house across the road. And so I'm
Yeah.
thinking, oh, I guess he means like down this. No, he means behind him.
Across the road, like literally.
Yeah, but like literally, instead of just saying like, that's my house right there.
But
Like,
yeah,
I live across the road down there. And
can we talk about this road?
it's a bad road.
What is happening? So there's just like one main road in the town. There are no speed limits. There's no sidewalk. It's just, I mean, which I guess makes sense. But like, it's just giant stretch of road, and it's constantly just Mack trucks clattering along at like 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's duel happening constantly on that road. You never see anyone on a bicycle or a car. You're right. It's just trucks.
Yeah. Right. I mean, you do see people on bicycles occasionally, but they have to like let these trucks go by at 90 miles an hour. And it's just, so that's like his big warning. Like, it's a beautiful town. It's great here. Welcome. You'll be our new veterinarian, but just watch out for that road.
No, remember, he's not a veterinarian.
What do you mean? Of course he is. Oh, is that the sequel?
No. Yep.
Shit. So why is he in the town?
He's got a job as the new resident doctor at the University of Maine. So yeah. He's a surgeon.
Right.
Now.
And it's like a stay-at-home mom.
And he has a hell of a first day.
What happens on the first day? I don't remember this.
He gets a guy with a massive head wound, Harry, going in there. Pascal, Mr. Pascal.
Right.
And another jogger who I believe was hit by a Mack truck. This is one of those movies where I was acutely aware that the makeup artist was extraordinarily fond of showing a similar type of flesh wound, no matter where that wound occurred on the body.
It looks like everywhere you see it's just raw meat.
Yeah. Head, neck, arm, shoulder, leg, raw meat.
Raw meat all over. And so the family, they also have a cat, Henry.
A very ugly cat, and I'm a very big cat lover. I'm a cat guy, ladies and gents. But I'm not a fan of church.
Henry.
Yeah.
Get off my podcast.
You like church?
This is an adorable, precious little cat.
Oh, my.
I love Church.
Wasn't a fan.
He's named after Winston Churchill.
Well, that I liked.
And he's adorable.
He is not adorable.
I think he's so fucking cute.
He's misproportioned and very...
he is a little misproportioned, but it's cute. No, I honestly wanted to adopt Church and take him away from all of these bad roads.
Pre-church death, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, before he's like a zombie cat, but...
You don't like the zombie cat, Church. No.
I mean, he's still pretty cute, but he's got creepy eyes. You know, he's such an adorable cat. I really love Church.
We're going to have a hard disagree on this, folks. The first animal disagreement on the show.
That can't be true.
Yeah. It could be. I don't know.
I really loved him, and you know, they send the family to Chicago to like spend the holidays or something, and you know, he stays at home to work and he takes care of Church, or he's supposed to anyway, but he lets the cat get out into the road, and it gets smushed immediately by one of these Mack trucks.
Right.
And so they have to bury him. So the old man, Fred Gwynn, takes him to the Pet Sematary, which is spelled with an S. And he was like, this is my pet, Old Spot. He's buried here.
Right.
and a lot of other really exciting gravestones for animals. And there's a bird. And
I mean, and their trek into this burial spot was so long that I wasn't ready for that. Like, I was thinking, like, oh, it's just over the bog there. And then,
well, I think in this first movie,
my God.
I think it's like, it does feel like that. They walk through, he says bog, but it's just like this big mess of sticks.
Right.
And
I didn't see a bog.
no, and they go through it, and it does seem to take a long time, to the point where I felt as though we were like crossing over a mystical convergence or something.
Totally, because then where they end up looks like it looks like the end of Mission Impossible Fallout. They're like in a craggy mountain scenario. I'm like, where the fuck?
Yeah, it looked
are
like
we?
fucking Outworld from Mortal Kombat. And like, so it's like this Indian burial ground of concentric circles.
Right.
And he buries the cat. And by the way, he barely knows this guy at this point. It's so
Yeah.
weird. He says like, "Well, I guess I'll bury the fucking cat in the backyard or something." And he says, "No, I have a better idea. Let's go here." And it'd be one thing if he just like took him to a pet cemetery. And,
Right.
But then no, don't bury a pet in the pet cemetery. Let's keep going beyond this bog along the mystical convergence into the Indian burial ground. I would have been at some point like, let's stop. Let me
Right.
just bury him of this dead cat that I'm holding.
Right. I think Louis Creed at that point is just like, you know what? This guy does have a seemingly unlimited quantity of Budweiser. I just want to stay in his good graces.
But how much time does this guy... Like, for me, if someone was going to say that to me, I'd be like, I got to get home. I've got stuff to do. I've got some, like, Janet Jackson videos to jerk it to. Like,
Right.
Can I just, like, this is a chore. I'm not going to
Takes
take
him all
2
night.
hours of my life to do this.
Yeah.
I'm burying up my fucking daughter's dead cat, which I super don't even give a shit about, because earlier on in the movie, I was on the phone with her saying goodnight, and she said, "Kiss the cat for me," and his response was, "Yuck, kiss your own cat." Who says that to their kid?
Well, that brings up something I'm glad you brought up, because I had forgotten. It was going to be one of my main points of the movie. We've seen a lot of parental neglect in our time in the movie, in the Cineplex here on the show. These might be top 5 worst parents ever. They're not particularly nice to their kids. They don't listen much. They don't watch them much.
Oh no, they're in Maine.
And they don't explain anything.
They're in Maine for 4 seconds before one of their kids is running off into the road.
Yeah, and one falls from a tire, one runs into the road.
Yeah.
And every time that any subject is brought up, like death, which is brought up far too much in the beginning, the dad can't just the mother just acquiesces, like in the corner, kind of sulking, like, "Ooh, I wish he wouldn't tell her stuff like that." But he just keeps going,
Well, the mother
his
has
grandma in heaven, Daddy, and he can't just say, "Yeah, she is." Yeah.
What's going on? Doesn't the mother... There's this weird subplot about the mother having a sister?
That shit, I got to tell you, man, and UK Dave had emailed me about this. He said, and I didn't know what he was talking about, but he was right, saying how he remembers being very disturbed by the sister.
It is disturbing.
Holy shit. I mean, honestly, this whole movie is very disturbing. It's very fucked up. And I'm saying this because it's good. I think I liked it, but it's very fucked up. And did you read what Stephen King said about this book?
No.
He said, and honestly, love you, Stephen, but he does comment on his own work a hell of a lot.
Have you ever read Stephen King's On Writing?
I have heard a lot about it. Yeah, and he's quite the solipsistic gent, but that word I don't think he has ever used. By the way,
He probably has.
he probably has. Yeah. But he said it was the book he wrote that scared him most, writing it, and did not want to publish it, and only published it at the urging of his wife, and his good friend Peter Straub. He did it because he had a contractual obligation to give this whatever company one more book, and he had already written it, but he did not like it because of how disturbed he thought it was. And he was
fucking
right.
Disturbing. Yeah.
That sister shit.
So what is going on with this sister? She has like a birth defect, like a crooked spine or something?
She contracts spinal meningitis. So it's like, I guess, this thing that affects the neural activity in your brain and your spine, and apparently turns you into a horror monster.
Yeah, it's played by a man in drag for like extra fucking creepiness.
And it really is. And nothing about the present day parents, except for when the grandfather punches the father at the funeral of the son,
dynamite,
would lead you to believe that these are the kind of parents who would do this to either of their daughters. But yeah, she's traumatized because she was there having to feed her, and was there when she died. And my Lord, I don't know, that I felt like that was something that, I mean, I'm glad they didn't explore it, because it was explored quite enough for my taste. But
to be honest, the third act of this movie is so much about just disturbing visuals layered on top of disturbing visuals.
Yes,
that like
you're right.
The plot is almost secondary, and it ends with them all dying. Like, the daughter doesn't die because she is just, like, left in Chicago, not because she's, like, the final girl or anything. She's just an afterthought to the movie. But, like, they bury the fucking son in the pet cemetery, and he comes back and starts killing people. The wife is having, like, flashbacks of her weird spinal sister. And, like, the cat comes back and starts fucking killing people. It's just... And you got his eyes and everybody's bullshit. It's just like a crazy ending.
Yeah, it really is. It's insane. And
it's a house of horrors.
It is a house of horrors. That kid, by the way, we saw that kid before.
Oh my God, bro. That fucking kid. What did we see him in?
It was a Freddy Krueger movie, one of those ones.
Fucking New Nightmare. He's Heather Langenkamp's son, who you hated in that movie.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And we talked. He's the kid from Mercury Rising.
Okay. Yeah. He's not young enough in this. I mean, not old enough in this to be too terrible.
He's like 3 years old in this fucking movie.
So he's fine. Creepy as shit though. Like some really like borderline like, is this wrong to film type stuff, right? I mean,
I guess
you know what I mean? Like, they got like an infant he's like practically like a baby.
Oh, you mean biting, because he's biting like the neck out of his parents or whatever.
Fred Gwynn, yeah. I mean, but that shit when Fred Gwynn is looking around for him in the house, and then that hand with the scalpel comes. I mean, that shit. Woo,
that was shocking.
I mean, Mary Lambert, I got to give it to I think that Stephen King wrote a pretty good script, but I got to give more.
It's so much more about the visuals, man. I think Mary Lambert really knocks this one out. It's a good movie.
I agree. I was genuinely surprised. I went into this thinking it's going to be some fun garbage, but it's pretty well made.
It's well made. It's not exactly fun garbage. That said, like, I talked about how at the end, like, it's so much more about the visuals, and it is, which is, like, at the expense of the characters. You really, and the performances don't help, but, like, you never really latch on to any of these characters.
No,
like,
you're right.
This is a way better movie than Pet Sematary 2, but I think in Pet Sematary 2, I was more attached to the characters.
Well, the thing is that I think you hit on something earlier when we were talking about it, is that, Christ, even I maybe accidentally did. When you think about someone like Timothy Hutton in The Dark Half and all that, like, you would have gotten Timothy Hutton in this role.
Sure.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, he'd have nailed this, man. And you just kind of have one.
Come on, give me Eric Stoltz.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You get like this one of these generic never see you again 80s actors, and it's just kind of a letdown. And I don't really know what was behind that choice. I maybe money, I don't know, because it's a pretty low budget thing going on. But yeah, you could have
gotten me a young Keanu in this baby.
I don't think so. I don't know about that. Well, he has to be like 30 something.
No, I
know,
guess you're right.
so-
I guess Keanu's still pretty young at this point.
Yeah, he's right before Point Break.
Yeah. Get me
Bro.
Swayze.
Oh, there you go. Patrick Swayze in Pet Sematary. He was too busy in the Roadhouse.
Yeah. I fucking love it, dude.
But I was happy with this movie. I mean, I got to tell you, fans out there, I recommend it.
Yeah, me too. What do you give it?
I'm giving it 3.
Me too.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, let's not go crazy.
Right, 100%. Yeah, it's not nearly a 2, but it's not nearly a 4.
Yeah,
it's a
solid 3.
Solid 3. And I was really going into this not knowing what I was going to give this. I thought maybe a 1 or a 2, and I was not at all. It was a damn entertaining film.
Yeah.
MVP Fred Gwynn.
100%.
LVP, you turned me. It made me think a little bit because I was going to give it to. I had actually 2 choices. First was the daughter because she was really whiny.
Oh, she's fine.
But yeah, I think that's more just the writing.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was going to go with the wife for blandness, but then you really opened my eyes with making me rethink how much better it would have been with another male lead.
You need a better protagonist in this movie.
Yeah,
Come on.
I agree. So
I'll
give it to
Jason Alexander.
Michael Richards.
No, don't put Michael Richards in it. Oh, all right.
Lou Ferrigno.
No, stop it. Dean
Pun
Cain.
intended.
Give me Dean Cain. I'll accept Dean Cain.
You're naming like all these actors who were too young at the time. I love it. You're like, give me Chris Hemsworth.
No, come on.
Give me 1989 John Cusack.
Give me Steven Tobolowsky.
Oh man.
Oh, that's good stuff.
I think I hit on it when I said David Hasselhoff because this guy's kind of
Hasselhoff can't carry a movie, Henry.
yeah. So he'd be because he kind of looks like this guy. So and he was riding high on the night at the time.
No, here it is. I have it, Henry.
Okay, all right.
This is who you want in this movie.
All right.
William Baldwin.
Oh, another young Flatliners 21-year-old.
He's old enough. No, come on. Oh, Hank.
Donald Sutherland.
He'd be great. I don't think you could get Donald Sutherland in this.
Imagine Donald Sutherland sharing the
get Jeremy Irons. Give me Jeremy.
I have just finished my work on reversal of fortune. What is this cemetery you speak of?
Is this misspelling on purpose?
This is not the King's English. Alan Rickman.
I love it so much, man.
Cemetery.
Kiss your own cat.
Bury your own or cut the nuts off. Don't.
Bruce Willis. Give me Bruce Willis.
Charlie. There you go.
Henry.
He's forgotten a lot of good lines in the movie, but whatever.
It's a great movie. We didn't talk enough about the funeral. When the kid comes back from the dead, he's dressed like a hipster for some reason.
Who is?
The kid. The little kid. He comes back from the dead. He's wearing like a fedora.
That shit is fucked up. Yeah, that's from the fucked up painting in the daughter's house. Remember in the parents' house when she's having flashbacks and all
I
that?
forgot about all that shit.
There's like a midget with
Don't say midget.
I'm in 1989.
Okay. Oh, are we?
Yeah.
This is being recorded in 1989.
Yeah.
You got your 8-track out.
Remember, we're in that mist up on the hill. It takes you back in time. Yeah. Got a little person with a cane and a top hat. So we put the 3-year-old Micah Hughes in that top hat and the kid.
Yeah.
Jesus, this creepy shit in this film,
I
man.
know. All right. You have a superhero?
Oh, you're having like a Henry breakdown. I'm loving it. I'm loving it, man.
What's the superhero count?
Oh, superhero count's a real dream catcher. So here we go.
Up and away. See? Go.
Number 1, we got our favorite LVP, Dale Midkiff.
Okay.
Actually made another movie after this. He was in The Crow, Salvation.
All right. The third
Played
one.
Vincent Ehrlich.
Fine.
Yeah.
I never saw that one.
Well, I want to now. I want to see what this guy can do.
Let's see what this guy's capable of.
That's right. And then his wife. And this is not a joke, by the way. The wife was played by Denise Crosby, who is indeed the granddaughter of Bing Crosby.
That's insane.
Not a joke. Yep. So Rachel Creed was in an episode of Lois and Clark, playing Dr. Gretchen Kelly.
By the
And
way,
in my
speaking of Creed, you know who would have been a great dad? Carl Weathers.
I ain't going no near Pet Cemetery. Ain't gonna be no burial.
It's true. You would never buy that he'd follow that dude into the bog.
You out your fucking mind.
Yeah. All right. What do you got?
Right. So in Lois and Clark, she played Dr. Gretchen Kelly. And in one of my favorite DC turn of events, she also played in the Flash 1990 series.
What are your favorite DC turn of events?
Yeah, she played Dr. Rebecca Frost. Yep.
Okay.
You still there?
Yeah, is that
Yeah. One more.
it? Okay.
Yeah. She was a doctor in the Flash. Hang on. And then a doctor in Lois and Clark. Okay?
Yeah.
There you go. Dr.
That's it?
Ellie Staple. No.
Ellie Staple. God. Oh.
Miko Hughes
Yeah.
was in the Spawn.
Yeah.
Played Zach in Spawn.
Zach. Sounds
There
like
you
a
go.
cool kid.
There you go.
Oh,
That's it.
Pet Sematary Two. Let's talk about it.
Oh boy.
Oh my God. Mary Lambert's back to direct. It's written by this fellow Richard Oughton, who's sort of a Hollywood journeyman. I don't know much about him. I think he does a lot of script doctor work, or at least some.
Sleep Doctor.
Yeah, he got a story credit on Journey to the Mysterious Island. That's his most recent credit. But
Okay.
he had done Lionheart, which is a movie I've never heard of.
I think I've heard of it. By the way, did you get my Sleep Doctor joke?
No.
Doctor Sleep was the sequel to The Shining.
Oh, right, of course.
Thank
We'll
you.
cover that eventually.
Thank you.
So yeah, Lionheart, and then he did Little Nemo, which is a cartoon.
Okay.
Anyway, the movie comes out August 28th, 1992. 3-year window, Henry. Perfect.
Oh, it's perfect. I got everything ready.
Yeah, I don't have a budget total on this movie for some reason, but it only made $17.1 million at the box office. And Stephen King.
I'm imagining that budget was pretty low.
I don't think so, Henry.
No, maybe not. You're right. Furlong.
The first one was a hit,
Yeah.
Henry. And this is
Yeah,
Edward fucking
Right.
Furlong coming off
Yep.
of
A woman.
of T2. Yeah, coming off a woman for sure, but also coming off of T2.
No, I know. Yeah.
That was a huge deal. This movie came in at number 72 at the box office. It only made $17.1 million. And
Okay.
it was right there between Free Jack and Deep Cover.
Oh, I remember both those. All right.
I know. I feel like I know what Free Jack is. What's Deep Cover?
Deep Cover, I believe, and you can check this out I think that's a Larry Fishburne joint.
Ooh, sounds good to me. Let's see.
Yeah.
It is a Larry Fishburne joint. Well done.
I knew it.
Directed by
Thank
Bill
you.
Duke.
Yes, there you go.
Okay. So apparently Mary Lambert wanted this to be a direct sequel to Pet Sematary and have it be the daughter from the first one in the lead.
Okay.
But Paramount...
So they were going to call this Creed 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Paramount decided that, no, we can't have a female protagonist.
Yeah, what are you, high?
Yeah.
Come on.
So, which is so weird to me, Henry, because it's a horror franchise. Isn't that like the one franchise where there are female protagonists?
Yeah, it's true. And also...
The one genre? Yeah.
It is also 1992, and we're in the era of Julia Roberts starting to carry movies. And
are you going to put her in Pet Sematary Two?
Yeah. Pet Sematary 2 starring
Sandra Bullock. It's 1992. She's still doing Love Potion #9.
Yeah, that's true. It's Pet Sematary 2 starring Bill Duke and Julia Roberts.
As a couple. I would love it. Okay. So
they're in deep cover for that one.
Yeah. So this movie, I went through a little bit.
One's a pretty woman.
One's the blackest guy you've ever seen. So, Pet Sematary 2, I went through an interesting journey with this one.
Uh-oh.
Because I got maybe like 40 minutes into this movie, and I'm thinking, I wish there were like 8 Pet Sematary movies. I was loving it. I was like, I want to just keep watching Pet Sematary movies.
Really?
But then the second half of the movie, it just got so gross.
Yeah, it gets really gross. I was with it for maybe the first 20 minutes because I liked the opening with the movie within a movie because
I was not feeling that, actually.
Well, let me tell you why. Because I didn't remember anything about this flick, I thought, oh my God, is Mary Lambert going for like this look? Like I didn't realize when she's coming down the stairs that was a movie within the movie.
Right.
So
They're
I was
making
like
a movie called Castle of Terror.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, this is either going to be amazing or terrible, but either way, kudos to you, Mary Lambert. You're taking this to another level. She's not. It's just a movie within a movie.
Yeah, but, and so the actress in the movie dies, and her family decamps to Maine for some reason because she's like this famous actress who's married to a veterinarian.
Yeah. Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, and I guess there's nothing. And you say Anthony Edwards, he's fucking perfect for this shit, man.
Yeah, he's. Look, man, I don't know Anthony Edwards from a lot of stuff except one of my favorite movies ever, which is Zodiac, and he's so fucking good in that.
Come on, ER.
No, I know, but I never watched ER, so I know Anthony Edwards more as like a actor, but I don't like a person. I've
like
never
a character
seen him.
Actor.
Yeah, I've never fucking seen him in anything. So, they could have brought him in for the first Pet Sematary.
Oh yes, absolutely, they could have.
Yeah,
they could have brought in Kloondog.
There you go, a young
Clooney starring in Pet Sematary.
Mullet-headed Clooney.
Yes, I would love it.
The facts of life.
And so he moves to Maine with his son, Edward Furlong, and Edward Furlong is doing he's going full furlong in this movie.
Full what?
Going full furlong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he's just like, I'm a dick. I'm just going to wear fucking jean jackets and I'm pissed.
Right. That's what he does.
But he makes, and also they move there with this other girl. I don't know what she's doing there. Who's this character? You know what I'm talking about, Hank?
I say that again. They moved what character?
They move with this other girl who's I guess Anthony Edwards' assistant or something.
Well, no, they get a housekeeper. She's a housekeeper,
and she's just begging to bone Anthony Edwards, but she's this live-in housekeeper, and she's 25.
Yeah, it's a little single white female going on there.
I mean, if this was real life, she'd be boning Furlong, not Anthony Edwards.
She's like touching the dead wife's stuff and
Oh
shit.
yeah, she's like, she like starts like, this is she's like a big fan of the wife too, which is weird. She's like, this is the dress she wore to the Emmys.
Right.
And I'm like,
right.
This is the star of
Castle
of Terror.
actress.
What's she doing at the Emmys?
Renee Hallow. The winner is Renee Hallow for Castle of Terror, Episode 1, The Electrocution.
Pilot. So they moved to Maine, and he's setting up shop in the veterinary station, and they find a box of kittens, Henry.
Yeah.
Oh,
now those were cute.
I fucking love these movies because there's so many cute stuff, but then like halfway through all the movies, they just start killing them. There's too many dead animals. Yeah. Like that fucking Lars von Trier movie, The House That Jack Built.
I didn't see it.
Like the whole movie, he's like murdering people, and it's totally fine. I'm into it. And then there's like one flashback to him as a kid, and he cuts a duck's foot off, and I'm like, not feeling it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Animal cruelty, it's tough to watch.
I don't enjoy it. So he opens up.
Having said that, there is a great duck race sequence in The Favorite, everybody.
Oh, there really is. That is dynamite stuff.
Oh.
A lot of cute bunnies in that movie, too.
A lot of bunnies, a lot of ducks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
So the box of kittens, Henry.
Box of kittens.
They find the box of kittens. Furlong wants one of the kittens. Dad's fine with it as long as he helps him set up shop. So everything.
Yeah, he's like, you can have one kitten if you clean this shithole up.
Yo, but this is a kid who just lost his mom. He's like, fine, if that's what it takes. I want this kitten. And it's totally worth it because then later in the movie we see him like curl up in bed and like the kitten's already like sleeping on his other pillow. It's
and he
great.
Takes the kitten to school.
That is weird.
What was that?
What was he going for? What did he think was gonna happen? He was gonna last 9 periods with like a cat in his jacket.
Especially when your classmate is the kid from Big.
Holy shit, this kid from Big. And Henry, he's not my MVP, but it's close. This is one of those.
He's good.
This is one of those rare cases where the bully in the movie, to me, is the good guy.
Well, I don't know about that.
This Furlong needs to be taken down a few pegs, and I am into this fucking bully. First of all, he's fucking awesome, Henry. He's
evil as hell, though.
He's so cool, though. He's got his hair slicked back. He's got a motorbike. He's riding this motorbike, and he's got a cool earring, and he's just like chasing Furlong around town, like "fuck you, motherfucker."
Yeah, he is out. He is off the rails. That's one king trope that he uses over and over and over, like Dead Indians and and Maine. He loves the bullies. He loves the bullies, man. Wow, and they are never half-assed bullies. They are just like the most vicious, homicidal people.
This bully is dynamite, and I thought this kid from Big was fantastic.
He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of movies about kids fucking adults.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Perkins.
Sure. So, so what happens next, Tank? So the kid, Furlong makes friends with this fucking fat kid. And I am into this kid getting bullied too.
Yeah, man. But he seems to like hang out with these bullies. Very strange dynamic.
The fat kid?
Yeah.
Listen, when you're a fat kid, you take the friends you get.
That's true. Yeah.
So this kid, he's got a rough time of it too. He's living with his mom, and his new stepdad is Clancy Brown,
who you don't want as a stepdad.
Who I goddamn love. He's the drill sergeant from Starship Troopers, among many other great roles.
Well, and this is his first Stephen King bully role, followed 2 years later by his great turn in The Shawshank Redemption.
And he's not as good in that as he is here.
You're fucking crazy.
I goddamn love him in this. He's my MVP.
Clancy Brown?
Clancy Brown's so great in this.
Yeah, he's mine too.
And
Yeah,
and so I just love him. The fucking kid.
I felt bad for him though.
The fat kid?
No, Clancy Brown, the actor.
No, are you crazy? He's having the time of his life here. Just
I
dripping
hope so.
pus out of his neck the whole movie.
I hope so.
Smacking women around, killing bunnies. He's
Yeah,
horrible.
I mean, you're right though about the second half.
The
of
fat
this movie.
kid takes like an extra helping of mashed potatoes, and he's like, "Hey, Tubby."
Yeah. Oh my God, he's so terrible. But you know, you're right. Like the first movie has all these disturbing things in it, but you know, it works. And then this movie just crosses over into like lugubrious gore that just kind of goes on forever. It's
But
like
the thing about this movie that I really enjoyed was it does get you more into it. Like it's a good character piece for a time, and it's a little more fun than the first one even. But then it just like takes this dark turn into being like needlessly mean and ugly and gross.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point they fucking killed a box of kittens.
Yeah, that was I mean, can I just hear about it off screen? Do I need to see that?
No, we need to see it. It's just like fucking a whole box of like mashed kitten. It's disgusting.
Yeah, and we also get to see a whole thing about the bunnies like skinned alive and all that shit.
The bunnies on screen. You see him do that. There's just like I reached like a limit in this movie where I just realized like
I agree.
I only have so much tolerance for looking at dead animals. I
agree.
I hit a wall.
And honestly, as much as Zowie, by the way, really, that's the name of the dog.
I was
Zowie?
all right with it. It's like a Pavement album.
I felt bad for Zowie. I mean, he really gets abused. This
the dog
fucking
was
guy,
cute too, and yeah. So Clancy Brown shoots the dog
Christ.
for like I don't even know why. Like what? He's just like annoys him.
It annoys him. He first of all, the dog gets electrocuted by.
Oh, he's like messing around near the bunnies, and the bunnies have like a bell on the cage.
Like, and they have like an electrified fence in the cage.
Right.
So he takes him to the vet, and then he's like, "Oh, keep the bunny away." And then the bunny does it again while he's trying to get it on with the mom. And so he goes out and he kills it, and then they resurrect it. And then it's kind of like live, die, repeat, right? It's just over and over. Like you die, you get buried, you resurrect. You die, you get buried, you resurrect.
I thought was funny for like a while. So they've heard about the Indian burial ground. Because I guess it's just common knowledge now in town. And
right.
They because like the other thing is like there's that fucking whenever you do a sequel and like you don't have the original cast in it, you have to like refer to it in some way. So it's like, you hear about the Creed house down there?
Yeah, they do that a lot.
Yeah.
And they reference the daughter, right? What did the bully says? What happened to the daughter at the campfire? When he's trying to tell.
It says that she like murdered the grandparents in Chicago,
right?
Which is so weird.
Who probably deserved it if they
fuck
treated
those people.
Yeah.
So they bury the dog because they hear like rumors that the Indian burial ground will raise the dog, and then the dog comes back and the dog is totally weird and like gross and like just dripping pus and blood and has no heartbeat.
Right.
And so they get through this thing with the dad. They kill Clancy Brown by accident, and they're like, "Whoa, worked on the dog. Let's bury this guy." And then Clancy Brown comes back as a dead guy, and at first he's sort of like a fun dead guy. It's like it reminded me of that movie My Boyfriend's Back.
Yeah, he's the fun zombie.
Yeah, and like there's that fun scene at dinner where they're just like plugging up his neck periodically while he's like, because like now he's like he doesn't think the kid's too fat anymore. Sure, eat potatoes, Tubby. You're a great kid. And and then they just but then he like gets mean and he like beats up the mom and and starts stalking the kid around like a crazy person. Also,
Right.
he gets into like a truck and starts to chase the kid, which is so weird because he's like they're supposed to be a mindless zombies. Like part of the
He
point
drives,
of them when
man.
they come back is that their brains aren't working.
Well,
So
this is clearly
he knows how to drive. He knows how to talk. At one point, he says like, "Having a clear head's better," and I'm like, "You don't have a clear head. You know how to talk and say these quips."
It's true. It's true. I liked the touch of Anthony Edwards' vet needing there's no heartbeat in the dog, so then he sends the blood off to like a lab, and
Yeah.
goes in to like talk to the old vet.
I
And
loved that guy.
Oh my god! And that guy just loses his mind.
And he's in there fucking working on taxidermy. It's just like
Yeah,
we cannot have a scene in this movie where I'm not looking at dead animals.
It's not possible. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they're everywhere. Yeah.
So, they everyone dies. The fat kid dies. There's boobs in this one, Henry.
Yeah, in the it's a dream sequence, right?
Yeah, there's one scene where like the mom is like fucking the kid. That he's like dreaming that he's boning his mom, and she takes her shirt off, and she's got sweet boobs, but then like it pans up, and like the head is a dog.
Yeah. Wait, I think it's Anthony Edwards.
Oh, is it Anthony Edwards?
I think you're projecting Eddie Furlong's life onto it. Yeah.
Maybe. But yeah, you're right. It is Anthony Edwards. But that was such a weird scene. But I always like to take note of boobs. And
Right.
then the movie ends. They finally wrap shit up, and I really loved the last moment in the movie. Where there's like an in memoriam reel. Did you?
Oh yeah,
There's
you
just,
mean like when they're driving away?
There's these like slow motion shots of all the people, all the characters that have died over the course of the movie.
Fuck was that? Yeah, there's
Very
like
odd.
narration by Furlong, right? And over that narration, it's that stuff.
Yeah.
That like pictures of all these. What a strange concoction this
It's a really
film.
odd movie. If it was just less fucking gross, I'd be all over this movie. But as it stands, I can't give it higher than a 2.
I'm going with a 1.
No, I'm not close to a 1.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the 2 coming in there. It almost makes it, but it just, you know what happens for me? I just got fatigued.
No, me too. I hear you.
Yeah, and so I mean, I'll never watch it again. I
will. I'll totally watch it again.
You will, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I get it. I just can't. I won't do it. And I think also coming off the heels of the first one, it's just I don't know. It's not totally bad, but it's pretty close to being a piece of shit.
I feel like they're both like really close to being classics, and then neither one of them are.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I'm sticking with my 1.
All right, I'll go 2, and my MVP is Clancy Brown.
Me too.
And who's your LVP?
Let's go with boy, that's kind of tough. LVP. I'm gonna go with the housekeeper.
Yeah, what was she doing in this movie? And I recognized that actress from an early episode of The X-Files.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, she's just no good. Yeah.
Yeah, she was just weirdly unnecessary. Like, I'm not sure what the fuck she was doing there. I guess I'll go with her, too.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. I got
because I liked everyone else. Fat kid, great. Bully, great.
Yeah. I agree.
And I will say, I also did not care for the score of this one.
No, it sucks. The music in both these movies is garbage.
But the second one stood out for me, and here's why. You know.
Well, actually, wait. I want to point out something really quick. The first movie score.
Oh, is by a legit guy.
Yeah, Elliot Goldenthal.
Yes.
Yeah. So him of Heat and Alien 3 and a whole bunch of shit. Who can turn in a good good score every once in a while, but
The
that's not one of them.
the score of the second movie sounded like the most extraneous power ballad you can think of on Use Your Illusion.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. Wow.
Boy, someone was using the flange pedal in that studio.
Flange pedal, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I agree.
All right, so rank them 1, 2, and later this year we'll cover. They're making a remake of the first fucking Pet Sematary movie.
Did you see the trailer for it yet?
I have not seen the trailer for it yet.
Looks good.
Do we know who's in it?
Oh yeah, and I'm a fan of everyone.
So Jason Clarke, I see, is playing the main guy.
Right.
Wait, hey, that's a step up. John Lithgow is the Road.
That's right. And Amy Seimetz.
Who's that?
Huh?
Who's Amy Seimetz?
I've talked about her before. One of my celebrity crushes.
Oh yeah.
She's in.
She was in Alien Covenant. I kind of remember her in that.
Right, and then she's in that movie from my top 10 of 2013 that I can't remember now.
Upstream Color.
What is it called?
Upstream Color.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I don't really know who she is. She's in Tiny Furniture. I like that movie. But I mean, look, hey, she's a step up from whoever that other lady was.
Oh
and John Lithgow and Jason Clarke. That seems good to me. So
I'm excited.
We'll check that out. That comes out in April.
Yeah. So this is a long episode, so I'll read this superhero count. Okay.
Yes, please.
All right, I got 3. Eddie Furlong. Also,
the Crow, Wicked Prayer. I know that one.
Well done.
Yeah.
As the Crow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He also was in the Green Hornet.
I did not recall that.
Playing Mr. Tupper.
Sure.
Clancy Brown has come up before on this show, and he's been in 480,000 DC and Marvel movies as different voices. So
sure. Have
fun with that. And the Eddie Furlong's mom in the movie, Renee Hallow, is played by the actress Darlene Flugel, who is in something we'll definitely be covering at some point. I think we've even had a request for this, if I'm not mistaken. Darkman 3, Die, Darkman, Die.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Is that it?